pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's just.
These ones for you.
Yes.
I tried them on. Okay, take attendance here. This is good.
Yes. Yes. It's stated. Yeah. That's typing skills. It's not it. Yes.
What's she looking for?
You want to put it in your system? We'll figure it.
It is a 7.
7.
Okay, you ready, then?
Yes.
Okay, this is somebody?
Making copies. We'll count them as present.
All right, I'm taking attendance, roll call. Mike Bond, supervisor.
Deb Doherty? Diana Klein is here.
Joseph Lefebvre is here. All right, and Greg Simpson, could not make it. Other commitments here. All right, so I call this meeting to order, and the first thing we're going to do is, there's a list over here. Can I make a motion to open comment, public comment?
1 second.
All right, second. Discussion. Yeah, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You want to call the first,
Rich?
Muggy.
Thank you.
Hi, name and address, Rich Muggy, 165 Conifer Lane, Hurley. I'm speaking tonight as the past president of the Hurley Recreation Association. I'd like to say hi. There's some new board members here. So I'm just going to bring you quickly up to speed. Last year, there was a board resolution with the town and with the Hurley Recreation Association to have a partnership and to sponsor and help get going a town of Hurley sponsored camp. And just due to the time frame and logistics of having multiple boards, resolutions happening at the same time, it never actually matriculated. So being that the temperature is about 15 degrees with the wind chill, now is the time, if we want to have a town of Hurley sponsored camp partnership relation again, have it happen. Now is the time. I'm not speaking directly to Mr. Perry over there, but I'm speaking a lot to Mr. Perry over there, to make it happen. Because last night was the first board meeting of the year. We have 3 more board meetings till we put water in the pool, so it comes up fast. So that's all I wanted. I just wanted to remind you and put it out there that now is the time. If we want to sponsor kids from the town of Hurley to swim, if we're freezing, this is when it has to be planned.
Thank you.
That's it. And Mr. Perry has all of our contact information. And if you have any questions, you can refer to the new president of the Hurley Recreation Association, Mr. Matt Jankowski.
Yeah, I just gotta apologize. I should introduce, Noah Andre, our new board member. All right, and also Lynn Bailey, actually a returning town clerk, making a second appearance. Trying to do it. All right, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, want to call the next person? Lynn?
Okay, Sherry?
Yes, Pettis. Hi, good evening. My name is Sherry Pettis. I live across the street on Brinks Lane, across from the Hurley Town Board. And I am here to talk to you about accessory dwelling units or ADUs. The advantages of ADUs are many: affordable housing for our workforce, care for our elderly, extra income for homeowners who otherwise could not afford to stay in Hurley, care and independence for the disabled, and providing additional housing, which is currently rather limited, all while maintaining the beautiful rural character of our town. The Town of Hurley survey from last year asked if residents would support accessory dwelling units, and a resounding 64% said yes, they would support ADUs. The state of New York is offering a $125,000 grant to residents who would like to build an ADU. They've had 2 rounds of funding, and there's 1 more to go. I applied for the first 2 and was turned down because our town does not have zoning for accessory dwelling units yet. Other towns such as Kingston, the town of Ulster, Rosendale, Woodstock, Saugerties, Lloyd, Ellenville, and others already have zoning laws specific to. I propose the adoption of a new section of zoning specifically for accessory dwelling units for the town of Hurley. That's why I'm here. Paul Economos has already submitted a draft to the board along with other updates to your zoning code. And I'm talking about the e-code that's published on our website, the zoning laws. I would like Paul's zoning proposals, including the one for accessory dwelling units, put on the board agenda for this January, if at all possible, because the grant is being put up again for the 3rd time very, very soon. If you have any questions, I have a piece of paper. I'm going to hand it out. I also have Kai Lord Farmer's name and email address on here. He is the liaison between us and Ulster County, and the liaison between Ulster County and Governor Hochul's office, who's offering the grant. Has many resources to offer us if we have any questions about zoning or anything having to do with ADUs. Thank you.
What's the deadline for the grant?
They haven't come out yet with the 3rd round, but they usually could be 2 months. So I expect that, from what Kai Lord Farmer said, that the 3rd round will be coming up very soon, as early as this month.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say this spring may changes. Yeah. Thank you.
There's a secret. Genius. Everything is right. So she said that she. Hey. Thank you. Next.
Okay, next person will be John Panici.
Good evening, everyone. John Pelucci.
Can you spell your last name?
Can you hear me?
Can you spell your last name?
Palmucci. We recently purchased property on Field Cape Road, and I just came to meet everyone here. Understand they're will be doing some voting, and I'm also very much in support of the ADU side. I'd like to follow that and see how that goes.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Well. Okay.
Peter McKnight.
My name is Peter McKnight, of 91 Pleasant Ridge Drive, and I'm the former planning board chair. On December 10th, the town board passed a resolution forgiving most of the Schultz escrow charges because, quote, due to this failure of the planning board, town board has adjusted the fees owed to the town for consultant services. I've corrected this to what should have been the correct wording. Due to errors by the town clerk's office by way of failure to turn over copies of vouchers to the planning board, the town board has adjusted fees owed. On December 30th, the town board then illegally voted to appoint Tracy Kellogg to the planning board. Legally, that vote needed to take place after my term expired on midnight, December 31st. The town board tonight plans to make her chair of the planning board, which is ironic since it was her office which caused the errors that resulted in the town board's decision to forgive the Schultzes around $8,000 in escrow charges, a nice bonus for a political ally of many of them. Also at the December 30th meeting, there was banter about numerous complaints against the planning board. Every time one of those complaints was brought to my attention over the past year, I was able to give the supervisor and or town board members a detailed accounting of why the person was unhappy. Most of the time, it was because the town board itself had failed to correct or modify town laws it could or should have. And the planning board has no legal authority to ignore those laws. Copies of some of this correspondence is being submitted for the record. Does the town board expect the chair to ignore the law when the applicants are unhappy? Or will they give her leeway because she is a political ally? Shame on those who orchestrated this political coup and the falsehoods they told to rationalize it. And shame on those who failed to do their due diligence and went along with this disastrous vote. Mark my words, our town will suffer as a result.
Anybody else have anything? Thank you, Peter.
There's no one else on the list. Anybody else like to speak? Publicly?
Mike, we haven't spoken yet.
I have nothing to report yet. Thank you.
Okay, I make a motion to close public comment number one. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, so be it, so close. Okay, we have, town board has looked at the order minutes. They're updated, up to December 30th, I believe. Have you had a chance looking at that?
I don't think I have the last few because I never got it from Tracy. I got the 30th.
Okay,
So,
can you, it's, Lynn, the December 30th meeting is on the computer. The minutes. So if you can just send it over to Samara, we'll then send it over to Jeremy.
Sure.
You guys, have you seen the 30?
actually, looks like we're missing both from December. So that would be the 10th and the 30th. I need that. So from the clerk's office. Okay.
They're on the computer, or on your computer now. December 10th and December 30th.
She didn't get them. I'll review them and make sure you have them by the end of the week.
Thanks. That's fine.
Send it to Samara, but the procedure goes that whoever, before it goes to Jeremy, it goes to Samara, she reviews everything and then it goes. Otherwise, what's gonna happen is if you send it to Jeremy, she might send it to Jeremy also. So
I'll send it right to Samara.
Any other further discussion here
On the minutes.
on minutes? Okay, all right.
Is there going to be a vote to approve any of the minutes and?
No, but you did up-
You're up to,
did up the-
you're current with what we have.
All right, so just down 2 minutes. Okay. All right, I just want to, before we go into our discussion was, I spoke to a few people today about certain issues here. The first thing is, I spoke to corporate associates, I want to just go through this whole thing, corporate associates about our landfill. We're applying for a $1.325 million grant to study the landfill in order to remediate the issue there. I've been in contact with EFC and in contact with the corporate, and they firmly believe that we are going to get that grant. That we're going to get that $1.325 million grant. That's just to study it. And again, it's my belief, and it's also Crawford and Young and Summer, our lawyers, that we will then get the $7 million grant to clean up the entire landfill. So, well, when our Ryan Lodge said to me that we are the first ones we are the pilot in a sense. So in other words, so any kinks that are in the system, you know, it's gonna have to be resolved by us in a sense, and, you know, and thinks that, says, yeah. Says, all the indications he's getting from EFC, Environmental Facilities Corporation, or the DEC, is that yes, they're working on this thing. So that's it. The other comment I have is from Brendan Masterson, who's the Commissioner of County Commissioner of Public Works, about lowering the speed limits in the town of Hurley. And he said that we sent the information up to the state. The state then sent it back to Brendan Masterson, and then he sent it down to Poughkeepsie DOT, which is the periphery that we do in laws. And he said it would be about a year and a half before the decision is made.
But that's from the time we
Time we
sent
sent it down. So he's already had it for 5 months. So we're talking about a year. I think we have precedence in the fact that Kingston lowered their speed limit. I'm not sure when they started the process. All right, and we've saw these is in the pipeline also. I know all lower the speed limit process. So I think the fact that that's going to happen going through. I also spoke to Amanda Laval about Zandhook and about the crosswalks. And I just want people who live in that area, crosswalks and so forth, is that they did a study. They did a study, a commissioner study to do this thing. I don't know why we did this study to put crosswalks in, but they did a study for it. I guess that's how fast the county moves. They must do this kind of thing. So we are still in the process there. With Zandhook, they have already done the pre-investigation, the pre-survey and so forth. If you drive down Zandhook, you see those pink flags there. And they are for two things. On the south side of Zandhook, they are looking for the water lines. Make sure, and they will contact Rolling Meadow Water if they want to replace their pipes when they're digging this out. On the other side, they have the same thing. And they use ground radar to, I don't want to freak you out, to look for dead bodies. The cemetery, they have to make sure that when they do that, they don't dig up feet. Well, that's what those things are, those flags there. So, it's on the way. But again, yeah, I make everyone understand that we may move fast. They move like at snail's pace, the county. So we have to be very, very patient. We're doing everything we can. We're pushing. I know that we've been getting a lot of emails from residents saying what's going on, and the answer is we're on it. We're on it. We're really working. We're pushing. But it's hard to push something that doesn't want to move as quickly as we do. And that's it. So we're still going on it, and hopefully that we'll get this thing down the road more or less.
Can I just go back to the speed? So there were 3 resolutions that we passed. One was to lower the town speed limit to 25. The other was for school zone designations around the elementary school to designate more streets. And the third was to lower the speed limit on 209. I don't know if anybody's aware, but we just had a big accident out here at this intersection a few hours ago.
Yes.
And there's a lot of accidents there. So we welcome the state to open up a study and start looking at this, but we have requested to lower the speed limit from the state police barracks down to, Vessel Road. So that's also one of the 3 that are down in Newburgh, I think, right?
It's in Poughkeepsie.
It's in Poughkeepsie, okay. That are in Poughkeepsie right now under review. So we'll keep pushing on that.
And what's the speed limit going to be? I don't know.
We requested, I believe, 45 or 45, 40 or 45.
What's it down by the town of Marlton? 45?
40 and
It's
30.
40.
40
Yeah,
and
it's
30.
Well, it's even lower in Stone Ridge.
No, but I'm saying, but, when you, yeah, it's 40. It is 40.
Yeah.
Any chance of getting a traffic light instead?
They
There's
told
no-
us that is like a no. Like,
How many accidents?
It doesn't matter,
no, the other thing, when I spoke with DOT, they said it's not necessarily the number of accidents, it's the number of accidents that are caused by the road conditions, the engineering of the road itself. Human error, it is supposedly not counted in there, but I don't know how they can't, we have constant accidents here all the time. It has to be understood. Right? You can't ignore it. So we're just gonna keep pushing.
Okay. All right, any other comments by the board members here at all? All right, as we stated at the last meeting, we are, before we start doing our organization meeting, we're gonna do the reconciliation of the budget coming through here. And so, would you just go to the first 2024 budget?
2024.
Yes.
Giving me the hard work here. Budget. 2024.
Brief budget summary.
The summary, yep, we got.
Okay, this is pointed out by John Perry, Wendy Trojan, myself, and also RBT, that if you look over here, for example, 1,846,161 is a wrong number. All right, what this number reflects, this is all the budget lines in the general town budget. And when we did it by hand, we wound up with 1,856,000.
No,
I think should be.
The correction was 56.
It's 56, it's in fact, it should be 56, not 46. And so the suggestion would, so what it was, when we went down, and we did this many times, we looked at the budget, did it by hand, and we found that it is 1856, not 1846. Somewhere along the line, that this portion of the budget was not done by a spreadsheet, it was done by hand, it seems like. And there's a mathematical error that we have to correct. And the way we corrected it is by taking the revenue here, and we went to actually a line on interest and earnings from our Bank of Greene County. And the revenue projection at that point was $140,000. In actuality, we received close to $400,000. So what we're doing is taking $10,000 and we're increasing the projection to $150,000, which then will make that 1,856,000. So this is actually a part of the resolution or reconciliation that we're going to have here coming through. Okay, you want to go to the capital A fund first. By the way, just to clarify things here, the total interest that we have accrued here is $400,000 on the head, basically. Coming through here.
Mike, I don't think that H fund document was ever sent to me. All I have is this. Samara never sent me that.
You go to,
Where are you looking?
right there,
The appropriations, the next tab,
Appropriations.
next tab.
Oh, okay.
go to the next one. Oh, no, go to appropriations and go down, scroll down,
Oh, okay.
keep going to the very end.
It's really helpful.
Well, all right, it doesn't really matter.
I can scroll through. You talk.
Okay, what it is here, we actually looked at.
Problem is this thing is massive.
All right, well, what it is basically, we figured out exactly what the capital H funds started at in 12/31/2023, what it started with, and what it ended on 12/31/24 and so forth. And what it is basically, wow, all right.
You're meeting at townofhurley.org. It'll take a minute to get through.
Well, anyway, so we have a capital H funds taken care of. They're all in the positive figures. There were two capital funds, and there was a landfill capital fund and the Hurley Heritage Community Center that had a negative balance. All right, and we had to make them positive. Maybe go further.
Is it a fun breakout page?
Maybe. All right, well, anyway, so what
John is sending it to me. It's fine.
you have it, John?
John's gonna send it to me now.
Yes, it has the capital H funds. Okay, anyway, so going back to what this is basically, so what we did basically is that we took out, we moved from the capital 1H fund, which is on buildings, which has a balance of $501,705.90. We took out $100,000 there and moved it to the new capital H 31H, which is there, Hurley Heritage Community Center, and put $100,000 in there. Now, that had a negative balance of 11,735.51. And that balance was because we need to do a study on that old library feasibility study, and it costs that much money, comes to us, so we cover it. Now, what this is happening here, we have a benefactor that's gonna give us, for every dollar we put in, they're gonna give us $3. So basically, so this the total cost. You got it, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what it is that, the feasibility study showed that the benefit the old library into the Hurley Heritage Community Center will cost about between $500,000 and $600,000, which is outrageous. It's
If John sent it here, it's fine.
$0.90. And so, the benefactor said that if we put in $100,000, they would put in $450,000. Of course, in that sense. And so the first thing we did basically is we sent out an RFP to replace the roof.
Here you go, Michael.
That's it.
There you go.
No, it's only part of it.
That's what I was sent today.
All right. Well, I can do it up here. So this is the balances right over here, along here, more or less, coming through here. And so where you see a parentheses, that's a negative amount there. All right. What we did basically have moved that just a little bit. Sure. Right over here. This is the money that, in other words, when we've created 31H, we didn't fund it at that point. All right, so it's actually zero coming through. But we took out, we had to pay Paul Yankovic, the feasibility study, $11,735.56. So it gives negative balance there. And since the Hurley Heritage Center, Community Center, happens to be a building, so we decided to go back up. Sure. And so therefore we took out of here $100,000 and we put it into that account. Okay, part of the resolution there.
And just, to be clear that this resolution is making these transfers, that's authorizing the
Right.
transfers to be made,
Right.
so they haven't been made yet.
They haven't been made yet. Once you pass the resolution, they'll be made. All right, now here, this is the landfill, right over here. And this is negative $16,000 landfill. So what we did is we went to our interest that we collected close to $400,000 and removed.
We will move.
We will move. All right, we will move $20,000. Or actually $17,000 will move here, and that becomes a $636,046 positive coming through that. That's what happened there. And, just the news that we got today saying that the landfill might be taken care of, that might be all we need. And not only that, though, all the money that we have put in so far to monitor the landfill will get reimbursed us too. That's part of the grant, which is part of the grant also coming through. And it also covers our lawyers, and it also covers corporate associates too. So as I said, they think, it's a win, things gonna happen. Okay. So, the capital fund is set. I will give to Jeremy the full copy of this thing, so we will post it.
I don't see the capital H transfers.
You got it?
In this.
Oh, you have it in the packets?
No, they're not in there.
No, they're not. Okay, all right, okay.
So that is not
Maggie,
potentially going to
can you
be.
do me a favor? Sure can. You need to put the copies in there? Eight copies. All right, so that's gonna be, in there.
We'll
and,
post that tomorrow.
Post it tomorrow, come through there, sure. Okay, you wanna go to the,
Where are we at now? Back to your financials.
yeah.
Oops.
I need your help. I call up the phone line. You said, well, you have it.
Oh, this,
Yeah, I call the phone line, and you say exactly what the line is.
yep. I
Might be
most
open.
of it, yeah, I don't have all of them.
No, it's this.
Oh, that. I know what you need. You need that.
Yes, okay. All right, now, I have to preface, Yeah. so I have to preface what is going on here. The 2023 budget for the general fund was 2.1 million. The 2024 budget, which was established back in 2023, is for 1.8 million. So right there, we're down $300,000 at that point. As we started researching the budget from last year and 2022, we realized that $300,000 of bills that were accrued in 2022 and 2023 were not paid. Therefore, we had, even though we took that money, those unpaid bills, and put it into the 2023 budget, but the money came out of the 2024 budget. So right now, we are down $600,000 in the 2023 budget. And so we had to actually go around and start scrounging up here. And so basically what we did here is where we had a surplus, a line that we had, the goal of this whole thing is to get to a reconciliation where there's no negative numbers there. It's either $0 or there's positive money coming in there. So basically, so we looked at all the lines that were negative and we started transferring across here. And these amounts here are coming across here. And do I have to go through all of them, you think?
I think it's necessary if is there a summary in which you can discuss?
This is it. And this is 6 pages.
So all of this was posted on the website.
So on the website,
This is up.
it's not on the website yet.
Identifies all of the transfers that are being made to.
Yes.
This is on the site.
Yeah, all right, this is on the site, this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so in other words, these markers here, this in bold here, that was now the new budget line, which corresponds with the negative amount. So those budget lines now are zero. All right, so that, now these are the 0.4 lines. You can see over there, 0.4 lines here refer to contracts, contractual, 1099s, supplies, anything not dealing with basically payroll, more or less, coming through here. So these were all then moved around here, and now and if we go further down, okay, keep going.
0.4s.
All right,
0.4, now here.
further, keep going down. Okay, stop. All right, keep going down further. Okay, keep going. All right, now what happened here is, so now what it is basically, we were still, either way, when we first started this, and before we transferred money from one account to the other, we were down $94,000 on this thing. We're still down $94,000 because all we did is take money from positive and put into the negatives. So we're still $94,000 down. So what we had to do then is go into our we had to go into the A2401. This is the bank interest and earnings, which is about $400,000, and we moved this amount of money into these three lines here that were still negative. And now they became zero or positive, and now the entire budget line here is either zero or positive value. What happens now with this whole thing here, if there's any money left over in these accounts, it all gets zeroed out and all the money gets put back into the general fund the next year. So when we start, well, I shouldn't say when we start 2025, every budget line starts with zero. There's zero money in that. And then, when John Perry did the budget lines, we now put in what each element is, more or less, and going through there. Okay? All right. Now, if we go down a little further now, next page. Now we go, okay, now this is the transfer from PS lines. This is the payroll accounts. These are the 0.1 lines here, more or less. And again, so what we did basically is that we took from, this is a highway account here, and we moved $101,000 into these accounts that were negative coming through here. And so basically, this is where the movement was coming through here. And this is how it's done. And so this is our bank interest. We collected $387,000 of money, all right? And what we did basically is we took $136,000 of this 387, and we balanced out both the 0.4 lines and the 0.1 lines to zero them out or make them positive, more or less. We then took also $21,000 here, and we had to use that for the capital H. We were going to capital H to get that to positive numbers, more or less. And this is actually went into the landfill, and hopefully, if this grant comes through, that's it. We spent close to about $1.5 million so far on the landfill. since it's been declared a Superfund site. So, and the thing is, though, that only will increase as we go further. Now, if the state comes through, does a study, and they come through and do that. Now, by the way, what happens also is that we spend something like about $85,000 a year on leachate pools. You have to do leachate pools at the landfill. So in a sense, once the landfill has been cleaned up, we now don't have to spend the $85,000 on that. So we're talking about dropping, probably like $300,000 to $400,000 a year from the landfill, another $80,000 on the leachate, almost $400,000 that we're going to save. Although we do something with that money for us coming through. So I think this is I think it's a positive thing coming through. Okay.
It's gonna take a while for that to all take place, for all the cleanup and all that.
Well,
right?
put it this way, if we get the grant, and grants, the deadline for the grant was in June of 2024. And the information that we're getting right now from the EFC, which is part of the DEC, they're moving forward. They've asked us to hire a contractor to do the study, and they haven't said anything about giving us the full grant to do the cleanup. I can't see them spending $1.325 million on a study unless they can clean it up too. And that's what we feel going through. So I think this is going to happen. We actually offered the landfill to the DEP. They were looking for land. We said, we got some prime land here. But
Sounds very good.
so this is what's happening here, and it really, and as I said, we are the first municipality utilizing or applying for this grant. So again, so we're the test case. So anything that doesn't smell right in a sense, the rest is correct, and we're doing it. And because the way we do the pilot, more or less, is how other communities are doing it also. So that's why it might be taking a little longer for us, but hopefully this is going to be taken care of very shortly. Also, if you go back to the first slide you had, the whole thing, yeah. No, not that one. Go back to the with all the budgets.
Second tab, appropriations.
The appropriate. Thank you, Maggie.
Oh,
At the top, second tab.
All the way to the top. 24.
All the way to
20.
20.
Yeah.
Back, back. One more.
there you go. I'm sorry. No,
No,
you're looking for the budget summary for 24?
no, this one. Would you have? No.
Nope. Just,
No, yeah, no. You had it.
okay, that one.
Okay. I want to tell you something else. We only gave out two financials this whole year because of the way the budget was taken care of it. We have now finished the entire year's budget. Wendy Trojak worked on the thing, and this is the entire final. This is the final financial for the entire year. All right. What we do basically, what we have done in the past is that we do a financial every month. But because we didn't know where to start from, because we didn't know where it ended last year, we had to play it by hand, we had to play it by whatever way it came here. This down here, along with this is the total financials. It has the revenue coming in, it has all the deposits made, it has all the checks going out, everything here. If you got about 5 months, you may want to read this.
It'll be on the website tomorrow morning.
Okay. Any questions on this? I apologize for the fact that the financials came out like this as opposed to not being there monthly. So, but we weren't capable in a sense. Not that we couldn't do.
2025, we're gonna be doing it monthly.
2025, we're doing it monthly. All right, it's going to be done monthly, coming through, and we've seen that way all the way through. What we had to do also is we had a program called Williamson, which we paid something like $30,000, which was ineffectual. It didn't happen. We then moved to QuickBooks, where we're learning how to do the same and going through. We're learning as we're going through, and so we're going to have monthly financials coming through. And what we're going to do possibly is either we do it in-house or we have contracted with RBT, or to do the financials monthly and also do the AFR. About the AFR, the annual financial review that is due March 31st of the next year, we have been delayed because the books and the accounting has been in disarray for 2023. I just got word from RBT, they're done. They're done with their 2023 AFR. They just have one more question to ask us. All right, and that's what we're gonna answer tomorrow, and then we'll be done. They will then, bring it to us to certify. We will then send it to the state,
And then start 2020.
and so, and then we have to, well, they asked us to do 2022.
Oh,
State passed.
the state has,
The state has requested us to do both 2022 and 2023. 2023 because we didn't hand it in because the books were in disarray. 2022, there were issues that the state has stated and requested to be changed, but never was. So they would like us to do it. My question to the town board here, you asked me to, if you have asked us or asked the town board or the town to, once the AFR comes back from RBT, for us to do an audit. Now, this is my personal feeling here. We're going to I don't think we need an audit. And the thing is, for a couple of reasons, it's gonna run about $50,000. The audit to go through here. We send it to the state. They will look it over. If they have questions, they will contact us or contact RBT. If they feel an audit is necessary, they will do it. In a sense.
I would disagree with you, but I'd have to hear what Wendy had to say about it, since she's the one who.
Wendy Falzano?
Yeah.
She's the one who told me about that. You don't need to do it. I've asked her Wendy Falzano and Joe Montana, says you don't have to, because in a sense, the RBT did the first 7 months. And then the next 5 months from August to the end, we submitted everything to them. So in a sense, they combined it together. And going through.
Didn't the controller's office ask us to do it on it?
Sorry.
Didn't the state controller?
They
ask us to
suggested us doing it though, but my feeling is that, we spend so much money, on doing the AFR and other things that another $50,000 is better spent somewhere else. I would like to see it better, in a sense, let the state look at it. And let them come back to us and say that we'll.
You know, that's gonna take years, that's the problem.
I know. But the thing is though, that, we have accounted for all the money. There was money that was put over here, and there, and we collect it all together.
What about the $300,000 from the highway last year that we didn't find? That's what I mean, that's.
I understand, but the things though that RBT, which is also an auditing company, they couldn't find it either. So I don't know if UHY will find it the same way. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you guys if you want to go through and do it and spend $50,000. They will give us a $20,000, simple audit on that thing. But that's you either go for a full audit completely or you don't.
Normally you don't get audited by the people doing the books, that's.
Oh, I know. You can't. I
So
know.
everything doing the books.
But I'm just saying.
really-
But by speaking to Wendy Falzano and Joe Montalto of RBT, they said
Well,
they think that. No. They said that they have everything put in its place and all this.
So what I would suggest, this isn't on our agenda to discuss tonight, the audit, but put it on the agenda for the next meeting. And, in the meantime, if any board members want to reach out to RBT, gather information so that you guys can prepare to discuss the audit.
Just do me one favor and speak to RBT. Know what you want to say to them. Because we don't
What
know.
we're saying.
We're paying them.
I wouldn't talk to him unless I told him.
Some sense about this, just in case we divided number.
50K would be the bottom number?
Oh, yeah. They told me, they said to me, well, they said to me it would be 20K just to do a cursory, okay? And if you want the top man to look at it, they'll go for 50,000. So, we'll look at that. And if you want, Diane, if you want to read you to 100,000, I can get it.
Well,
Okay.
we still don't have that. So, I mean, it's just-
Well,
And the state's gonna take years, that's the problem. If the state was gonna be, 3 months from now, but we already know it's years before they're. gonna
well,
come back.
I spoke to the state about this thing and I asked them, about, the rent audit. And what they said to me, they said, do you think anyone was taken? I said, I don't know. And they asked how much was our budget. I don't think the budget was, so that kind of way, but said that,
So again, like I'd recommend that, put it on the agenda for the next meeting. That way you can prepare to discuss it and review the communication with the state. And then, the communication with RBT specifically related to this issue. Discussing all the transactions.
All right, the next thing here, this is the, open public hearing regarding Greeks.
Did you want to do the reconciliation resolution?
So
Oh, yeah, okay.
there's a resolution,
Accept the final financial resolution.
It's up on the screen. Nope, it's not. It won't be on the screen.
Here's the one for the 2000,
There it is. This is
Okay.
the reconciliation.
and then this is the one for the reconciliation.
Right. All right, so we have it here, the town, we have it there?
It's up on the screen.
Okay, whereas this is a resolution to accept the town board budget reconciliation, whereas the town board accepted the 2024 town budget, which contained an accounting error that shows the total general budget of $1,846,161.16, which is $10,000 lower than it should be, whereas the town transferred funds from various accounts in order to reconcile the budget. Therefore, be resolved by the town board, the town approach, to accept the reconciliation as per attached detailed document or appropriation budget transfers year ending 12/31/24. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Okay, any discussion? I just want to say something about this.
We need a second.
Okay, well, this is discussion.
No, I'm motion.
Oh, I'll second.
Yes.
Second, all right, discussion here. This took, this is done by Wendy Trojak, and, it's just really so complicated, so difficult, and so time consuming. All right, and she deserves it. She is out here.
Absolutely.
All right,
But our budget officer is good with this? Our budget officer is good with
Yes,
I know you've been working with Wendy.
yeah, the correction was found, and this needs to happen before we can reconcile it. Rest of the terms went for that. We have an absentee today, so we'll have.
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And you're saying you need another resolution. So that was probably,
That's part of that.
it was the 10,000.
so all the attached documents that were reviewed showing the
Yeah.
different.
This will be corrected. Which is
The
10,001.
one-
Yes, we'll be, well, I'll put it this way, put it this way, we now want to approve it, right?
Yes.
Be corrected.
There's no money for the audit.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see something else on this.
I mean, the resolution says
So it's not something.
the 10,000 in the whereas, and then it's immediate resolved to accept the reconciliation for the attached detailed document, which is all that,
Do this,
all that.
all this, as well as this capital H
Is
one.
that okay?
Yes, capital H. Yep.
And that's included in that,
And that,
in that
So
sheet.
once
Yes.
the motion is adjusted, the change to come to 5.6 plus everything that is here now is approved based on rich items to the reconciliation. Yeah, and that will have to be addressed to the, I think to the county. Michael.
yes. Well. Let's see. Let's see what it is. And by the way, just to let you know, there was, excuse me. There was a surplus on the highway budget that close to $330,000.
Well, that's, which is typical.
Yeah, which is,
We didn't find last year, but
right, so what we did basically right now, that 330,000, we used that to offset a lot of the costs in the budget here. And what I said to my shoulders, that once, we start getting money coming in for the new 2025 taxes and so forth, we will then move that money over into that.
Oh, okay.
Which is
That's, you do the garage, the town board can decide if they want to address that. 300 doesn't have to go all into that one.
Right.
We all can. A lot of times, just things that come up following here that potentially the town wants to do.
This one is- Right. Just-
And then-
This is the whole public hearing.
Yeah.
That's what we were.
All right, what I'd like to do right now is go to solid number one, go back to the resolutions. And this is to hold a public hearing regarding green perfect the planning board. And let me just read to you what Katie Greaves and Alex President wrote, requesting that they couldn't come here because they work at this time. And this is what was written there. Hi, Mr. Bonds. Alex and I were charged $2,300 in the planning board fees for our 9/26/24 planning board hearing. This hearing was for a certificate of appropriateness for our solar panel installation. We believe that these fees are a mistake. Will you please have a meeting with the Hurley Town Board to address our planning board fee issue? All
They
right,
were giving someone back.
we gave them back $700. Right, but then they came in on Friday with another bill for $1,200.
Did they pay that though?
They didn't pay, no.
So then why would they receive it back?
No, they received the $700 and they put it in.
They were initially charged under our statute, under the local law, they were charged a fee, an application fee for a certificate of appropriateness. Under our local law, there is no fee for certificates of appropriateness.
Very good.
So what was the 200, what was the 500?
I'm not,
The 500 was for the planning board.
was
Planning
the,
board, no application.
are you sure that was for the planning board or that was the zoning?
No, that was planning board.
Because initially they were sent to the zoning board erroneously, because there was a recommendation, but the recommendation sent the planning board who actually makes a decision regarding the certificate of appropriateness.
And that's
So,
500 was put into escrow for the planning board at that time.
Right, and Josh wrote, send it, gave him that back.
but that's the ZBA.
So there will be potential planning board fees for that.
No.
Because it had to go to the planning board. So there are certain fees that are gonna have to come out of that 500. So she can request it, but we have to sit and I have to go over those escrows.
Yes.
Yes.
For the five, no, in other words, it's
So
still
the whole
500.
purpose of the hearing, when they contest the escrow, is to go through and see what are reasonable and necessary costs. Also, as with the last hearing, there is an issue, our statute requires that the planning board send regular bills as they are billing from the escrow. Whereas it seems with some of these applications, they will go upwards of 6-7 months and then send a bill for $8,000-9,000.
And the thing is all that, but I understand it, and again, I'm not gonna project my feelings on this thing. But they were asking for a certificate of appropriateness, and according to the way we do things in Hurley, is that when that request goes in, it goes to the Heritage or the Hurley Preservation Committee. They make the recommendation to the planning board, the planner then makes a decision, yes or no. But they did instead, they referred it to their lawyer, John Meyer, who spent something like 7 hours doing something that says, and that's where
The question for the hearing is whether or not certain fees are reasonable and necessary and whether the other procedures under that statute were followed. So when that is presented, if and when there is a hearing, those will be the questions that the town board will do.
Right, but tonight is just to
Just a public
approve a resolution to hold a public hearing.
Schedule the hearing pursuant to the statute.
Where is it?
So up on the screen.
It's just- No, I mean, it's just the resolution. Right, we don't need the whole thing. No, it's a resolution to set a public hearing. I'm just gonna read it right now. Resolution to set the public hearing on the assessed fees for Katie Greaves and Alex Perfect by the planning board.
And so we'd like to set the public hearings at the next town board meeting, which is the 28th January. We 10 days, I think it's 10 days or 5 days.
You can, we do have the time to schedule it. It's a separate statute. Let me.
I believe it was 10 for the last one.
Okay, so we have to actually send out a legal notice. Okay.
Well, the notice needs to be sent to the person requesting it, and then as well as,
It's posted to the,
They sent that to the neighbors,
for the neighbors.
within 250 feet.
I believe it's 250, yes.
200.
no, that is incorrect. That does not apply at all to the statute. That applies when there's to ZBA. When it's-
CBA, okay.
This is, this is pertaining solely to escrow fees, not what they're doing at the property.
Okay, all right. So therefore, if we're gonna need to have,
The neighbors.
neighbors.
And if you guys want, after, if and when this is passed, when it's time for the notice, I will send you the same, just as I prepared the notice for the last one. I'll be in touch with Lynn and make sure that she knows.
We sort of do the notice of publication. We have to post it in the paper.
That is correct.
All right. So
So that's
tomorrow,
January 28th?
January 20th. So tomorrow, you and I can sit down and, unless you know how to do the notice, legal notice. If you post.
I thought that's.
It is a separate type of notice that requires different information under chapter
Right, so
19.
that's gonna get.
We sent one out less than a month ago. That same information I will adopt or change so that it is applicable to this case. And I will work with Lynn to make sure that all the notice requirements are met.
All right.
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock. Yes. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I was gonna say, do you have any, second? I'll second.
Yes.
I'll second.
Diana seconds it. Sorry.
Any discussion?
Any discussion before we go further?
Absent.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, one absentee. Okay, next one.
It's one for children, I
Yes,
yes, that.
219.
It's up on the screen. That's great.
I was just gonna read it, and then we can discuss. Right. Resolution pursuant to chapter 64 of the town's Hurley Code determining an unsafe building exists at 329 Old Route 209 and scheduling a hearing for January 28th, 2025.
Seven.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Well, let's assume that the first public hearing is gonna take at least a half hour.
This
So,
actually, the resolution says 7 p.m.
I was gonna say 7, okay.
It says 7 o'clock.
That's what I would think, 7 p.m. My neighbors will be thrilled.
And in addition to other notice requirements under chapter 64, this will need to be filed with the Ulster County Clerk's Office.
You'll die.
I will
Good.
send those.
I will guide you. Any discussion on this?
No, but it's a long time coming.
Well, I want, yeah, and I just gotta say, from the talking before, he tried to get in contact with the woman, she lives in New Falls, to no avail.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so the thing is also gonna happen is that if we're forced to do the reconstruction of rehabbing of it, it's gonna come out of a tax bill.
Yeah, and I don't think, I just don't understand. I know I almost very well. I feel bad for the neighbors that live right next door. There's holes in the roof. There's all kinds of
You know, you look at it.
horrible. And not necessary.
Right.
She's got two.
Okay, all right,
My motion did who second? I did.
Diana.
Diana.
I do have one question, based on the fact that it's public hearing. Now, this neighbors will receive.
Yes,
But this neighbors will receive, but primarily, the main notice is to anyone who has a property interest, the owner, as well as if there is banks, other things, yeah, that have ownership interest.
Yes.
So not just landmark.
they pay taxes.
Oh, it has.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So be it. All right, next one is the authorized supervisor to sign the MOA for the Hudson Valley Greenway kiosk for that. All right. We are getting 3 kiosks. We have to pay for all 3 and then we can get reimbursed for half. It's a 50-50 match, right?
Go ahead, keep going. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's in here.
The business agreement.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So, I have the contract here. And, if you allow me, I'll sign it. Motion. Accept.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I had a discussion, question. We have, the 3 kiosks coming in, and then, oh my God, yeah, it's very bad.
I know.
And then we have 3 other kiosks that are there, and, Nugget.
Nugent, Ted, Brendan Nugent.
No, and his father,
Vince.
Vince,
Vince is
they will, rework the others, they will.
Yeah, I guess we're not gonna develop roofs now.
And I looked too, and the one that they put up on the new, where we connect to the new rail trail, it was in Kingston, that has a metal roof on it.
So what we, yeah,
That is the next person doing it.
well, that's right, that's. Capital. Now, when we get the RFP back, or any, quotes back from Old Hurley. When I asked, the person who did, who do the metal, who's gonna do it?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So I'm sure if he gets the thing, we'll do it then.
I do have a Boy Scout Eagle project. They would also like to work on one.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'll let Nugent know about that. And that a Boy Scout has to work on it himself. So it's a process to get that Eagle Scout badge. So
Just to let you know, on the 28th, will be a resolution to fix those 3. All right, and the quote from Nugent's is about $1,100. That's those 3.
just materials, and I'll have to get there. You work on one.
Okay.
Yes, that's the one.
Great.
All right,
Definitely want to support the Boy Scouts.
Yes,
all right,
that's how it started out.
that's how it started.
Project.
Okay, all right, question? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Moving along.
I'll pull it up.
Right, here's the contract for the, this is the contract, and I will sign it tomorrow. And, okay, 35, that's all.
I did it, I read it as 3 million.
Okay, organizational resolution for 2025.
Full screen.
I have a question to ask. I gotta read this whole thing?
Usually what I would do is I would have.
All right, the first page, first 2 pages here, these are all the salaries, 2025 salaries.
Oh, there's one blank. Yeah. That's good.
I think there's one blank right now, and the thing is though, we had an MOA for this thing, and, we was gonna go to executive session to discuss this thing, but here's the thing, Greg Simpson, he wants to be here, and I think Joe LaTondre really, he's not in a position.
We'll just leave it blank then.
We'll leave a blank here, and, at the January 28th meeting. All right. So the thing is though, that we, you'll maybe have a question.
Yes.
My only problem with that is if we leave that blank in the video. Eventually, we're gonna know it's individual.
Well,
We already know. We already know who it is.
Yeah.
does it know that?
Do you not know what the salary is?
Shit, it's just-
Well, why don't we put it like,
That's just a number.
This is the union.
Got more than one.
We do city five.
I don't know.
You
We need lawyers, we need lawyers,
Want to
legal counsel.
Discuss it. Well, we can't resolve it.
We have an attorney. Discussion. Attorney client.
There's,
Session.
that's. Well, I don't know why, no, that's not, that's
All right, we have scheduled an executive session to discuss this thing.
discuss this thing, let's make the record.
Thank you.
No, my client. I had agenda. So basically going
Here's the agenda.
into executive session.
That was great. Just have it.
If you want to bring the agenda up.
To discuss,
Sure.
particular matter related to a particular employee involved in, employment, et cetera. So it's the only matter we're going into executive session on, right? Is all that we're discussing, if nothing else, correct?
Nothing else.
Okay. And you're gonna make that motion to go into executive session together with your attorney. Is there anyone else who is going into executive session?
Perry.
And the deputy supervisor, John Perry? Okay, so that's your motion.
Also.
Well, the town clerk has to be in there because it's
Okay, all right.
so
Ready to take notes? No, we don't take notes.
that town clerk, they don't necessarily become unless they're.
The decision we made after.
All right, so I make a motion to go executive session.
I second.
All in favor?
Purposes of discussing the appointment of the person.
Yes,
Thank
I just.
Yeah. We did it on the.
There it is, right there.
Any further discussion?
Make a motion,
I make-
make a motion to close executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's get down to business. Okay. All right, page 1. And on page 2 is all the salaries. I'm not gonna go through everything here. All right.
I don't know.
Each one of these.
You have it up on there.
I do. There it is.
Okay, so page 1, scroll down, so that you can see it.
So we're talking about this spot here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
supervisor's office, town board, town clerk's office, justice court, assessor's office, building department, planning and zoning. Page 2 is other departments.
And
The amount in there?
yes,
I should put all the amounts in there?
well, the other amounts are listed.
I'm
The
sorry,
amount
yes, that missing one is 75,000.
So
So this should be amended to 75,000,
Salary.
or is that 75,000
per year.
per year.
So,
So are we, it's open and we're reviewing the second.
Yeah,
We open.
We opened it in second, yes.
That's for discussion.
And then I'm just reading the major categories. So again, the blank is 75,000, page 2.
Yep.
We're going to look at other departments, the transfer station, highway department. So those are all the individual salaries.
and those are the current, and as you guys are
Current.
aware that there are current negotiations as per the collective bargaining agreement for any potential modifications to 2025 salaries. So
Okay, there's a correction here.
Where's the correction?
Other departments, park custodian, Richard Coverford, it's $60 a week. No, oh, I'm sorry. No, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, 121, 6, that's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then, next section
Okay.
is, no, wait, don't go to the office of the town supervisor. So this is gonna go through the different,
Following
budget
positions are
allocations.
appointed. Deputy supervisor, town supervisor, John Barry, budget supervisor, John Barry, and secretary to the supervisor, Samara.
Janine. And then each of the resolves goes into the details of the salary as shown on the board. Okay,
If I could just maybe make one correction, so there, for the record, there is no $2,500 more
Took that out.
there's no money in there for that.
So nothing for deputy
Deputy
supervisor.
supervisor.
I'll change that in the online version tomorrow too.
All right, so you guys are amending this resolution to remove that in addition to adding the salary.
right, office, under the office of the town supervisor, number 1
So it will be both.
and number 2. Both of those amounts are gonna be amended to be 0.
No,
Okay.
not the budget.
You get what you just said.
No, I thought you were talking about the first page.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry,
also
I'm
on the
sorry.
first page.
25. Just to try.
So we're removing the 2,500.
Just the 2,500.
Very, very
And also on the first page, very first page, the deputy tax supervisor, that's 2,500.
So that's 0.
That's 0 also.
Okay.
Very first
That's
page.
the only thing that's 0. That's the top.
All right,
Okay.
so yeah. John-
So next
John
is the office of the town clerk. So,
Okay,
any questions or corrections in the office of the town clerk section? And that carries over just onto the next page 4, just the top of page 4. Okay. Next section is justice court. Any questions or corrections on that row, on those 2? All right. Next section is the building department.
So we want to add that
So,
number.
yeah, so, number 17, we need to write in 75,000, so we need to amend that. Can I go through gas line? All right,
This will be updated online.
Well, then I have a question on number 19. How to pay a full-time position with 16 hours a week?
That's wrong, it's a part-time position.
Part-time.
So amend 19 appointed to the part-time position.
That's good.
yep, we can.
We're going to have to sign some vouchers.
Now, see, there is 5,000 in that department for flood plain administrator too.
Yes, yes.
And there's
Correct.
2 part-time.
But that doesn't,
No, but it's a big.
Okay, and then if we, so that's the end of page 4, if we go to page 5.
I have another question, too, because number 22, I thought we were making the coach full-time.
she doesn't control time.
Okay.
Do we know the hours? Is it approximately 30 hours?
It's 30 hours.
30 hours.
Yeah, it's here, John, 30 hours.
Right.
No, I just want to make sure that's correct.
Yep, we wanted-
Page 5 is highway department. That carries over to the top of page 6 as well. Any questions? All right, we're good, everybody?
Only question is as far as the secretary can be the highway superintendent, deputy highway superintendent?
Yeah.
Yes, that's not about, doesn't have to be.
Yeah, that was something that came up previously.
Okay, sure.
Then you can have it.
Not that, but she's never deputy. That was- Under the title secretary. That's fine. That's fine. As long as it's been done. I think Michelle's awesome, so I don't have a problem.
Transfer station.
The union, you know, had a.
Right.
Next up
Okay,
is
the transfer station.
all of
So we were
those.
gonna do something with that holiday.
That's negotiated, that's the usual.
Yeah, that's not something that would be like the rest in this.
It's gonna be the usual.
All right, bottom of page 6 is other town offices. So that's the assessor, and then on top of page 7, assistant, historian, senior account clerk, community relations, maintenance worker. Any questions on any of those? These. Next is on the bottom of page 7, other appointments.
On Joe, Joe?
Yeah.
Would you like to be, liaison to the town library board?
No.
Okay, all right.
I don't think so. I think you may have to.
Which library board?
But I'm on the town, I'm on the.
Liaison, this is the
Yeah, this is
liaison.
liaison. You wouldn't be a member of the board.
Right, you wouldn't be a member of the board, it's liaison.
Said you just represent the town as liaison.
As a liaison.
So we're adding Joe to line 49.
Yes.
Correct.
Is that Hurley's library or the?
That would be all.
That's all. That's all about that.
Okay, top of page 8, elected officials.
So I'd like to amend number 49 to say to towns, library boards.
Okay.
Both towns.
Boards.
It's two library boards.
Right.
Library, so let's make it boards.
Any other? Page 8, number 50, elected officials. Next section, zoning board of appeals. We still have somebody with 2 people with the same term. We have to change the code. So until we change the code, we can't fix that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have a new secretary. James Doherty, no relation.
I asked him that too.
All right, Jack.
All right. Top page 9 is the planning board.
Yes, there is a change here.
Okay.
Where are you up?
It's already up. Oh, I'm sorry, it's already up.
So there's no
What's her name?
Kathy.
Kathy Quella? Right, she resigned today.
That's the third, right? That's right, the third and
Well, I didn't, it was the third, but I just had it today. It was, sent to Maggie and then just sent it to today.
So then, Ray should.
Ray should move up, Ray should move up.
Right.
So Ray's
You
term
are
comes.
amending this
Yes.
to.
No, well, are
Or
we
do you want to
amending it, or
address that?
why don't we
at
do
a
that at the
future
28th? On the 28th, we can do that.
Well, the only problem is, there's a board, there's a meeting before.
Um,
Ray,
That's well.
He's alternate number 1. So he should-
okay, all right, so you're stepping anyway.
Well, no, he's alternate 1, so he goes into the open seat.
Yeah,
Right.
actually, I think
He's
under
also-
ours, don't they,
You also requested that
they
too.
rotate
Okay.
on matters? I think under our statute, the alternates rotate.
Uh,
Yeah.
They always go on, he gets picked first. Like, number 2 is only if there's 2 openings, which is there has been. So one voted or not.
So we moving him up here or no?
Well,
Yes.
put it this way, he requested
Yes.
today, so I said you should move him up there.
So he's gonna take the term
TBD.
So you guys are
to
appointing
end
him,
12/31 to
Yeah.
2027.
Did you do that in another?
yeah, that's what I would recommend, but you guys can.
Well, you know something? Yeah, even though I can.
So they said there's a planning board.
Well, it doesn't matter.
You could just sit it.
I
That's
understand
what
that.
the whole purpose of the alternate is when.
So we'll have, so we'll do this,
January 20th, and then,
I
and under the
definitely
20th,
recommend
then there's an opening
not
for
making
the,
new
well,
decisions
for
on our
alternate.
line. It's just-
right, so we should do both. Since we just had interviews.
Right.
All right. And now we'll do the liaison. Okay. All right. 61.
Yeah, the next section, other boards and committees.
Mhm.
And I did ask Samara to confirm that all these boards are still active. Well, still in place.
One board, I think that was removed, and I was
I think
Yeah, she had me take that off the website today.
otherwise everything went out, requests went out, people to stay on, it should be updated.
We have a blank in 67.
Ethics.
67, yes.
Question, 59, just going back to that, since we're moving him up.
We're not.
Well, we're not gonna do it.
That's not clear to do it. Yeah, right. Please, Joe. So that, I assume that was a resolution to make it, okay?
No, not yet.
Well,
Now he's
Well, yeah,
out.
he's-
It's just a reappointment.
What's gonna happen, basically, they have a meeting before we meet, and so because of the vacancy there, he'll move up to that seat.
Right,
there,
that-
and cover it, right? So back to.
That's right, it was 67.
Page 10.
Yeah, we have a blank there.
there is an opening on the ethics.
Something.
And nobody is chair.
So I think we need to do that for the next one.
Well, put it out there.
Yeah.
I haven't even advertised for it.
You advertise
Yeah,
for
the
that,
only thing that-
Oh, we have not. Nobody's brought it to our attention, so we can do that tomorrow.
Sure.
We
Applications.
also have the new survey out, and just anybody can apply for anything. So we also have those candidates.
You have that,
We have the general survey and it's on there, but since this is specific slot you're
Right,
looking to
but
fill.
we can still consider those people that submitted to that.
Oh,
as
sure.
well. Right.
So you're not filling in the chairman line at this point?
No,
Okay.
we'll have, resolution. All right, now,
Did you write that
This
one
is
down?
table.
That we did a resolution for chair. Right?
Right, Council, page 11.
yes. The architectural review board. Because we are no resolution forming it.
There's none?
Doesn't exist. You gotta do that at the next meeting.
That's what.
Now, you gotta do it by a local law. So basically, a local law was passed years ago. It was never filed with the state, so therefore it never became official. So in order to form an architectural review board, a local law will need to be passed.
Oh.
So do we need to
We
struck,
should strike this one out.
That should be struck.
69 and 70 should both be struck?
69. So then, right.
And we're tabling 67, correct?
We tabling or just leaving it blank?
Leaving it blank, that everyone else is.
Resolution. Okay, safety committee. Okay,
Just like. Let's go to the rail trail.
Oh, yeah, climate task force, does Lynn Bailey have to come off, because now she's an elected official?
she can be,
Well, the climate task force is not a decision-making body.
Correct.
So there should be no issue for her continuing to participate with the climate task.
Actually, Erin and Ireland got married, and she has Sorensen, is her last name? Ireland Sorensen.
SORENSON?
Huh?
SORENSON, do you know?
Double check it tomorrow, but
Okay.
Yeah, the rail trail committee, the only person.
Going on, I have it.
isn't there a
Yeah.
lot there?
We had a lot of
There's
people,
other people.
there were several people on there and Samara came to me today and said, take off everybody but Heather,
Okay,
because nobody else was active.
okay.
But that, Ralph was.
And yeah,
Definitely.
Was he?
Yeah.
he's one of.
He's
the-
Yeah, so we
Let's,
should,
let's put it back in.
What's his last?
well, we better check. this.
Ralph Bennett.
Maybe for the next meeting.
I don't know what's this?
I don't know.
From
Oh, it's on it.
ERUNNOND.
All right, we'll put him back in. Yeah, because I mean, if he's in here,
He's
I
on-
was thinking about kiosks and stuff on the
He's at
road.
another board, if you just.
Oh, he's on the,
railroad.
I don't know if he's
Yeah,
anymore.
I think I'm seeing.
He was on the CAC.
Found that, Jeremy.
No, but Aaron.
Yeah, oh, you know, he's on the CAC. Ralph Durham, DURHA.
Yes, yeah.
That route.
You're like DURHA.
And Aaron Nyland has to be amended with her new last name also, right?
Yes.
Correct.
63, throughout the.
79,
79, sir.
No, let's go back,
Yeah,
79.
let's-
Let's go back.
74,
I mean, 74, sorry.
professional.
All right. 75.
Yeah.
76.
Yeah.
77.
Now, I would like that to, and it's, Tracy's still here, I thought she wanted us to put that as requested.
I thought they were contract.
Just like the, what she had under ZBA,
So about 79?
yeah, look at 79, and it says that the ZBA will use Lyons and Kimberly
Upon
upon,
request.
and that's what Tracy wants for,
Okay. Upon request.
right,
Or which one?
for 77.
77.
77.
So 77 should also say upon request.
Yes.
Okay.
So should 80. 80.
Well, no, wait, but this one, it
Contract.
says to be pursuant by the professional services agreement. So what's the professional services agreement?
What services agreement should say as requested.
As requested.
So is that what it says?
Doesn't say anything.
Doesn't say they don't have,
Okay, all right.
And what was the other, somebody said 80?
80 should also be upon request.
Milton Pope, okay.
Town planners?
Yes. For the planning, to the planning board, upon request.
You should be there. Mindy.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you removed one of the HR,
no,
So
we removed,
I'm confused with the
Roman
upon
rules, the lawyers.
request. Why is the
Password,
password?
don't ask me. I don't
what
set
about
them
the
up.
professional services agreement for Richardson? Is he,
Yeah, so-
on à la carte or is he,
He's out, so it's all.
Which
is it à la carte?
It's out of carte.
Right.
Talking about HR.
So what, how is
Yeah.
81 changing?
Anyone's out of
No,
carte, in other words,
no,
he's out.
it wasn't à la carte.
Now,
So 81 is fine.
But that's in your
So we
service
have to
agreement.
change.
That's in the service.
he gets, he gets,
I'm just, yeah, I'm just,
he's
yeah.
giving us our hourly wage. All right, now, here's the thing also we were talking about, with Roman Rollins. We can use them also, instead of giving a stipend, use them as.
À la carte, right, I would like to have them
All right.
as à la carte.
You can add that or you can do a resolution.
Well, that's what the professional service agreement is for. You sign it, you negotiate the terms so that they're working hourly. You contact them when you need them to work. It does not need to be, all this basically says is that they are being appointed under this as pursuant to the professional service agreement.
So do you want to add someone to that?
It's really up to you guys, but the thing is, these are just the appointments. New appointments can be made at some point, but for the purposes of this.
Why don't we, I mean, can't we do a resolution when we have the contract? We have to do that right now.
Well, wait,
Well, the contract, they really gave me the contract, that contract was their salary. And,
No.
so what's happened basically is I told Samara, write a letter, declining the contract. Now we have to give them 30 days notice. So when the letter was sent out, it's 30 days from that point, so they still give me a January.
So I don't think. We have a new agreement.
Right, I was thinking.
Wait,
And then we
you
can, like-
you have Roman Wallens in here?
No,
No,
Yeah, so there should be,
no, we were
if you're
talking
not
about,
looking.
the discussion was for somebody to add them back in, and we're just saying we shouldn't add them back in until we actually have a contract and we can do a resolution at that time.
Yeah, and you can,
but they already submitted, 12 entire, 2025 bill.
it's not their retainer, but it's.
Right.
And, so that,
We're not gonna do that.
And that can do that. Okay,
So there's
And
no
who
change.
gets to decide when you need them, that's you, right? You're the only person that can decide that.
myself and Matt.
Okay.
I can recommend them, but I don't make any decisions.
Okay,
So 81 and 82 are unchanged, correct?
81 is out, right?
Yeah, they're
unchanged.
Okay.
83 is the Ulster County SDCA.
82. Go 83. Some reason I have a different number here.
All right, 84, the agenda meetings, we're gonna, go over the dates,
It's the same as this year,
same as this year.
second and fourth Tuesdays, right?
Second is at West Hurley.
Right, yeah, I really don't wanna be here on Tuesday nights when there's court, you know, it's a bit horrendous.
I know.
Yep.
I know.
So I would really like to change 85 to a different day of the week. I mean, we can do that at another time, but
We're gonna do that because, we gotta be able to, Greg.
because it's just, it's horrible. when it's
So
like-
what we'll do basically is, yes, what we'll do basically is that, we'll talk to Greg, see what you think they.
Wait, we're gonna change it from now to Tuesday night?
The only problem is that
Court.
the court's here.
And it's.
Okay, but we need to come to an agreement because other people have commitments on other
No,
days of the
no.
week.
Put it this way, in other words, as it is right now, it's Tuesday, if we can change it, so everybody agrees, and we'll change
It's
it.
horrible. We don't, yeah.
No, I agree, but we have to make sure that people don't
Yes.
have regular commitments.
If you started at 7,
I'd rather start at 6. I don't want, we wait till it comes to 10 o'clock at night.
FYI.
It's better.
Well, no, here's the thing, we can start at 7, well, they can start earlier,
You can't.
they can. They have.
Well, the difference with the town board and the court is, the court is also dependent on the public defender's office and the district attorney's office and availability of the attorneys for that, as well as, I know, so it's much more difficult for them to adjust.
I know, but they have tried, they have done,
And they have been meeting for at least 10 years on Tuesday nights.
they also,
No, this board started meeting on Tuesday nights in 2022.
Okay.
they always had Mondays. So the thing is though, that, the courts have been, blocking. You know, they've been-
I know, I feel terrible when people, they don't even have people to sit. And then you gotta hear what's going on over here, that bringing people out who change. That's just horrible.
Okay, all right, so, 84, 85, until we get to, phone numbers.
Are we leaving them as
Yes.
they are for here and,
Yes.
and you may change them? Okay.
Okay, all right, 86. Okay, 87, Kate, he's the referee, he's gone. Okay, 88, back to Green County, it's what,
89.
89.
No, we used to have a lot more names.
Oh, okay.
The original.
89 is fine. All right, 90. Fine, 91. Two. I know. 83.
That was the change from 67 to 70.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, federal rate.
Federal or state?
Better.
We haven't changed it. I was-
We go by the same.
I would say, but that's fine.
Sting.
No, state. He sent me an email saying,
Yeah, but I think it's IRS. Yeah.
They probably are well suited to each other, but
okay.
Well, I think that's about it.
All right, make a motion to accept the reorganization reorganization meeting,
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
I,
All right. You all have it, right?
Approved.
no, I don't think
Yeah.
I want another one. No, I haven't.
All right. Okay, old business, transfer station permits. Yes, just let everybody know that this is the list of water volunteers. Are we also considering board members getting free?
Zoning,
Paid.
CBA.
I'm not talking about us.
No, no, it's.
I know, we get paid. We're only doing
Okay.
volunteer.
See, well, the zoning board and planning boards do, they're volunteers.
Right,
You know, but you said that to the board members, you wanted to know.
We want to add also firefighters and any services.
It was a bit, 10% off the thing. It's fine.
They, well, they will get that. So that's the next thing. We're both gonna do. All
I
right,
get to leave because.
all right, okay. So
Wasn't
things,
very clear. So the firefighters are going to be getting a discount under
on
tax.
the taxes, they're getting attention. We haven't passed that resolution. We didn't do that.
That's what I.
So, yeah, the
Oh, no, I'm
original.
sorry. Only the old firefighters, not the newer firefighters. All right. And by the way, and all the permits are kept here. In other words, they have to come here.
Okay, and we already have it set up for somebody's gonna check off the names of the thing. And how we're gonna get this information out to these volunteer boards that,
So we're gonna-
maybe we could send somebody to each one of the meetings.
Or
And do that at the beginning of that
send it
meeting
to
to
the chair.
say,
We should get the notice out soon so they don't go by them.
right, right.
Well, they do want them, which is fine.
That's true, because they may buy one up at the town, right, you
So
know.
we'll do basically.
No, they're all here now.
Oh, you can't
No,
buy
no,
one at the, you
no.
can buy it.
Oh, they can?
But he's saying that they have to come here. if
In
you're
other words, but they
volunteer.
can't get the free ones up there.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
So we'll do basically tomorrow, I'll notify you guys now, contact each chest.
That would be great, yes, so they could make the announcement at the beginning of the meeting.
That's not the word, that's previous, the resolution,
It was,
For which one?
what you're discussing now, the transfer station permits.
Transfer station first, we passed that at the
Then
beginning of
if
the
you
year.
have a copy of the resolution, you should be consistent with the resolution. It specifically says only those who have served for a certain period of time, then be consistent with that. If it does
I
not
don't
say
think
that,
it
then I
don't think it said it.
well, then I believe every single person who is volunteering their time should be getting,
Right.
should be consistent with the resolution.
I think it said something about town boards.
Volunteer.
On town board, not the town board.
that's how.
No, I'm volunteering for the, on the town,
Boards and the
board on the town board, right, it didn't just say, it
Volunteers.
didn't say town volunteer,
Well,
it said.
Jeremy,
volunteer.
Okay.
Let's see if we had these, if we had these indexed and these.
Yeah, I knew what you were gonna ask. Do you know when you guys approved it?
It was, I think it was in January. If it wasn't January, it would have been the first of February. Yeah, because we couldn't, we
Jeremy, go look.
I'm looking right-
No, look at your emails.
decided it wasn't.
Look at my email.
For previous, we're gonna do it for this
Yeah, hang on one
year
second.
coming up.
I can't remember why we even talked about it, but,
I don't know, it was worded or something.
include library boards?
no.
Just give me a minute.
They're separate tax districts.
Yeah, there's separate taxes.
Just like the fire district's a separate tax district.
Thank you, man.
No, that was.
They
that was
were not
just-
part of
That's
it
right,
either.
Joe. That's right.
No.
No,
Just give me a second. Give me a
What
second.
I'm hearing may not be what that needs to be
I'm
here.
seeing if I can find it fast.
It's confusing. We should
Trying to cover his name.
keep us straight.
I want to hear what I know.
It was late.
Yeah, I thought it
I
was
was gonna tell her.
like April or something.
Giving transfer station.
Oh, the date, right there,
Very bottom.
right there, you just had it, Jeremy.
Okay, let me come back. No problem.
Very last one.
Yeah, giving.
There it is. Oh, it was tabled at the time. I guess you guys approved it later.
The committee volunteer.
By each volunteer member of a town board or committee with the transfer for each year that they are a member of said board.
Okay. So there's no time on going.
Town board, right.
Correct.
They don't have to do,
Of said board,
oh,
not
but each year that they are a
a
member.
member of said board.
Okay.
Okay. So 2020, so we got the permit now for their
So any
2024.
volunteer member,
25.
Volunteer, the effort that they did in 24, they get a 25 from that.
Right, so, but that list that you have may not be the right one.
Yeah. I mean, shouldn't we give them a? So.
Well, that will be next year.
No, that will be next year.
But if you're gonna wait a year, you have to do the year after. Yes, that list isn't gonna be good.
It's like a
I don't know how, and we can discuss this further, but it seems that we'll provide each volunteer member with a transfer permit each year, and they are a member in said board.
Remember like that.
And that's beginning, yeah, so they have to be a member now, and they'd be given it for now.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah, for 2025. So this was to commence
Right, well, we need
in
to.
2020.
Word that one. Well, it's because it was the middle of the year that. I guess
Right,
that's
right.
what-
Yeah.
So, okay.
Alright.
I'm no problem with that.
So you have the, list now. Then. And then go to the buildings.
You sent it to me.
It's
I'm volunteer.
Yeah, sure.
So that includes volunteer.
Organization.
Resolutions.
All right, that's it.
Public comment?
Okay, Matt, here's your chance.
Wait,
Make a motion. I make a motion to open public comment, and that's it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, what do you want to say?
You want me to stand in front of the audience or is it good?
No, you have to stay there, so it gets recorded.
The microphone picks it up better.
Matthew Cerny. Just wanted to give you a quick update on Hurley Ambulance Service Incorporated. We now exist. We received our EIN today. We've established a board of 7 individuals to serve. Let me read you that list quick because that's something we're most proud of. Is who has agreed to participate here. So the board has chosen that I will be president. Vice president is going to be Nickel Natarajan. Nickel is a longtime Hurley firefighter EMT. Nickel previously has run the Beacon ambulance service, and Nickel was their executive director when Beacon went from a volunteer agency to a paid agency.
And what was his last name?
Nickel Natarajan.
These are all Hurley residents,
So,
right?
Natarajan.
Matthew, if you wouldn't mind, when you're done, you can definitely say it, but if you would send it to either the clerk, to Tom, and then we can,
Absolutely.
yeah, that would be. we can help everybody.
And to me, I'm gonna want to get it on the website, but go ahead.
We'd love to acknowledge.
Katie Zell, CPA, is agreeing to be our treasurer. Ann Bailey, who is a EMP in West Hurley, is agreed to be our secretary. Rich Parrish is a longtime EMT educator. He is on our board. Pete Schultz, who is just a great individual, but Pete is on the board at Ulster Savings Bank, and he has a lot of experience working in philanthropy. And Bob Ryan from Ryan and Ryan Insurance. So Bobby's agreed to be on our board as well.
Are these all Hurley residents?
Yes.
They all are, with the exception of Nickel.
So
Nickel is no
this
longer.
Private entity, this is not.
Right.
Right.
Right. So I left out, Nickel is also deputy director of New York State Department of Homeland Security, dealing with EMS and public safety. So we're just hitting it out of the park. I'm so pleased with this board that we've got here.
Good for you.
So we're working with Terry Hannigan. We have a meeting with him this week. Kent is still full speed ahead. We do anticipate that the board will approve an employment agreement with Kent. And we've already started accepting, we have a few people in town who have given some donations to help us get up off the ground. I would expect for the next town board meeting, and I guess I'll talk to Debbie about, I don't know how to go about it or how I approach you, but we have to have more conversations about the contract and then like a schedule of how money would be released, so we can move forward with that. So,
Let me ask you a question. Now,
Please.
the board of commissioners, is that for us to do?
That's for us to appoint, yeah.
I would entertain, I don't understand what the Board of Commissioners is for. In my opinion, I am willing to come to every meeting and answer questions and make sure communication stays very clear and very open. But that is completely your decision. Whatever you
So I
like.
don't think we need a board of commissioners, because you're a private entity now.
Correct.
Private entity, but we have created a district. So there will need to be a board of commissioners for that district. However, it is the town board that decides who they contract with and be signing, any agreement with any private not-for-profit organizations or other, now we provide services to the district.
I mean, and that it can be, the intent was initially to have a couple of people, at least a couple of people as commissioners at the tax district. But over time, many of these people that, many of these towns that have converted this way, the board ends up just taking that role. So you don't have to have commissioners, but it was recommended initially that we would get some commissioners just to do a communication back and forth, but that's certainly something we can also. If we decide to change that, we can.
I have a question to ask you. You're also up to, being your own private company, of going to other towns?
I'm sorry, Mike, ask your question again, please.
What I'm saying is, you'd be able to contract with other towns besides us.
My understanding is legally we could. I can tell you there's zero interest in it.
Well, and it also depends, if, we are contracting with them and we are looking to, have services that primarily, that give us that, the main reason why we formed this district is so that we have priority for the citizens here in the town, that I would be recommending when I'm reviewing the contract, that there be strict terms for exclusivity, so that they're only serving.
The reason I'm saying that is because I'm hearing in the winds of
That'll
the
be
Kingston.
contractual.
Yeah,
And it may be something that can change over time as well.
The only thing that I don't know how this would work, Matt, but the only thing that concerns me about that is mutual aid. Right, that there's still
So-
mutual aid agreements, so
Yeah.
if we have a situation like we just had today,
right.
where we had to call ambulances from
Right.
3 other districts, that people are gonna come help us, which means that we also have to reciprocate. I'm
Correct.
sorry, not we,
You.
they have to
Yes,
So that would
reciprocate.
be something that, depending on our mutual aid agreements with other towns, but that they are being employed solely for us and are also subject to, mutual aid, that they're not going to be contracting separately with other towns.
Correct,
Understood.
right, so just, yes.
But I gotta say something today. I was
We're
out
certainly agreeable with that.
there- I was out there at the accident.
Yeah.
On Wycoop and so forth, and the mutual aid was fantastic. It was
Absolutely.
like,
It has to be. I mean, that's part of what the EMS subcommittee, I'm sure, communicated, was that none of us have the manpower to turn out for an incident that large.
That was great. That was
So
great.
it needs to be multiple companies to do. Yeah. And it is important for all those relationships, fire companies each have, very good relationships and train regularly with neighboring departments. Because in a big incident, it is going to be all of us.
Okay.
Because-
Hey, thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
Further discussion here?
I just want to read, just to make sure everyone knows, especially specifically the board, that we're starting our senior soups. First one will be January 15th at the West Hurley Firehouse, and then the 29th of January, Hurley, at the Hurley Firehouse. I would really love to see town board members take part of that. Currently, right now, for the first one, I think we have volunteers, but it would be great to see y'all's face, and I think,
What day of the week is the 15th?
So one more.
always on a Wednesday. Yeah, which is fine.
And my plan was just on Wednesdays. Thursday this week is the senior meeting in Hurley.
Already happened.
Last week. No, this week, really, they changed.
Oh, they
They
moved
do
it.
move it.
Okay.
So it's not- So I already asked you, so I could present this.
Oh,
to
yeah,
them?
100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
1:30.
So the soups are 11 to 1. I'll get there around 10:15, start warming things up, and we'll get party roll.
Yeah, I'll certainly be able to. Yeah.
11 to 1.
Oh, that-
I'll be able to help.
Cool. Very nice, thank you. And if I can, a special thanks, I'd like to put it into the minutes here. Fletcher and Lou, Verities Farm, Family Farms, Better Loan, Deep Roots Farms, Flower Sons, Ecology Center, Churchtown Dairy, Summer Scott, Orchards, Adams, Fair Farms, and, of course, the Hurley Fire Department, West Hurley Fire, and the Chronic family. The Chronic family was, they were on the Hurley, Hurley Library Board, and there were some monies that were left from the estate, and they donated this, and they would like it to go to senior soups. So I just want to make sure, all this is being donated, thus far. There were monies put aside for this for the town, so if it gets to a point where they need some, resources.
Now, are you gonna have a donation cup?
No, we never did that.
I mean, you did that-
No, we always made it free to the people.
We've been announcing it as free.
Yeah,
Well,
it
I
is,
know that.
it
I
is.
mean, I just didn't know if people,
I mean,
since this is going,
Yeah, we never did that. We always
This is gonna be every Wednesday.
One of the things that might have been like, seeing people come, they might bring a dessert. or
Right, every other
something, that kind of thing.
So it's 2 Wednesdays in January, February, March, alternating from the firehouse to the.
Yeah, it's very nice that it's really, that it's not,
One here, one
it's
there.
not all that, to be in the firehouses and, you
One
know.
of the complaints was always divide. So we really try to, and I gotta be honest, our libraries are working so well
They
together.
did, they were very well.
So, I really, so with the rec department, the libraries, this is, we really come together. It's gonna be a great thing.
I just want to say one thing to Charles and Lynn. This is a great board. It is a great board. We had a great time. There's no issues, or if there were issues, we have resolved them quickly. We did everything very respectful all the way through it, and I really appreciate this, and having both of you come on board is added trust.
Thank you.
May I speak once?
Sure.
Quick, so I apologize. I spoke too quickly on one issue. I'll clarify. Nicole Natarajan, has agreed to serve on our board and has agreed to be vice president. We can't make it official until he gets an ethics approval from New York State. He works for the state.
Oh.
So I'm not going to forward that name.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll hold off on that.
He expects to have that next
Thank
month.
you. Right, that's a fantastic, awesome board.
And I'm really pleased with that.
Thank you.
I got one final piece of I got one final
Right,
say.
I wanted to
We got quick comment.
Oh, yes, I'm.
I'm
You wanna
motion to
talk?
close
Like,
my.
Wendy wants to
You
say
want
something.
Wendy?
You don't want to hear.
You don't want to hear it. The good news is your employees are getting paid. I'm just a minute.
That's good.
Can't guarantee they're getting paid on time, but they're paid.
I gotta tell you something. You're nuts. And I appreciate it. I really think that you're doing a wonderful job. All right, and, stop sending me scary emails. All right?
Stop talking to me. We'll do that.
I will, hey,
Yeah.
no motion close. You got close by the comment. All in favor?
Aye.
No discussion.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Aye.
Second, who's second? Joe second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.